Hey everyone, my name's Steve. Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're viewing this channel, these videos are all about my Porsche 992 Carrera, and today I'm actually going to do a video about 5 things I would like Porsche to fix. After living with the car now for 6 months, there's a couple of things that really do bug me. I would like them to change. There's the white elephant in the room if you watch everybody else's videos where they're complaining about the dials, and I'm going to get to them because there's 2 points with that one. Basically, those 2 outer dials here and here are completely obscured by the wheel. Now you've got to tilt your head either way, and to be honest with you, this camera angle makes it much easier. If I pull it back right close to my face, this is more or less my eyesight of where those 2 dials are. Now if we start with the one that bugs me the most, everybody's upset about this. You've got the fuel on the right hand side. That fuel gauge is a digital gauge, and as you can see, I've got the vehicle customized section set up with bars on it. What we've got is the adjustment on this. Now you can flick through the dials to get what you want on the trip with the nav in there as well. But for whatever reason, they've got the water temperature on the top there, which I've managed to put on the customized section at the top. But there's nowhere on the menu to move that fuel bar across. That's the one thing in this car that's missing, being able to add that fuel bar to the vehicle customization. You can see that if you go into car setup and then control, you can go to displays. Now when you've got the displays here, you've got the choice between the main display that you can configure or the right hand one. If we go with the right hand one, what we've got is the choice to change these 2 outer ones. Even on the display there, you can see the steering wheel, the standard steering wheel, even with the thinner bar, is actually covering those 2 dials. If you're going to put 2 dials in a car, should they not be visible? Should you not be able to see the information? I think that's a glaring problem that they've reached with this, and I don't understand why it's an issue, because you've got a digital display where I can change quite a lot of the information, but I'm not allowed to configure these dials in different orientations. If we go into here and we can go into the customized view section, because on the left hand side there's nothing else in this list that I wanted, I ended up with boost pressure at the bottom. Now if we scroll up, you can see all sorts of deceleration, boost pressure, arrival at destination, compass. These are all things that really I don't need to be able to see. I would really like to change the boost pressure at the bottom here, and I would like to make it the fuel. If I can move the fuel to the bottom bar here where I've got the boost pressure, I'll be extremely happy, because at this point, if that was blocked, that one dial I've always got up there, I would never have an issue with being able to see where the fuel was. The second one is quite an easy point. Again, we've got to move our head over here, and you'll see you've got the time and the temperature on that small dial. If I keep these both in shot, you can see at the very bottom here we have the additional left display where we've got the clock. So I can have the compass, you can have an analog clock face, or we can keep it on the digital one. Once we go back to the main screen, you can see that I've got the time and the temperature there. Now the thing that upsets me the most about this is that on this vehicle customization section here, if we go back to the menu, there, you can add the time. So not only have I got the time here, I can put the time on the customization and it's also there. So that's 3 different places you can see the time, but I can't see the fuel apart from the one dial that they're actually blocking. I really don't think that's very acceptable, and that could be easily changed with the software update. I'm pretty sure if you can have one digital display showing the fuel bar, you could also have it in the customization section. Third thing that I think really could be better, this start-stop button is only accessible on the monitor. The button on the Cayman I had used to be down here, and it was the same layout for the 911 that came before this one. I would really like to see that being made a button, if I'm honest. Which brings me on to point 4. There's an easy way to make that a button, because quite frankly there is a shortcut button on the steering wheel. If you go into the menu, I'm going to show you in a second, I'll show you where the button is and then I'll show you where the menu settings are. So on the steering wheel here we've got this one favorite button. If we go into control, we can come down here and it's steering wheel button. Scrolling up and down here, you can see these are the only selections. So at the minute I've got it set to show map, because it's the only possible button I would want that shortcut button to do. Now I know on some of the other cars, depending on what settings you've got, you might have shortcut buttons on here. Mine have been allocated to the buttons that we've got. So I've only got the one steering wheel button. and they're the choice of things I can do with it. That button doesn't actually give me most of the functions I would probably want to use, and quite honestly, if I could set that function button as the start-stop button, I'd be perfectly happy with it, but it's not one of the options. Again, software. This could easily be solved with software, but I would really like to see that changed. So the one last thing about this interior that really bothers me, and it's a very small thing because quite frankly, if you can see, you know, back seats are not huge. If you want to get access to those back seats, you've either got to lean over like that, or you have to come out, and the access to the back seats is via this pull tab. Now, there we go, that was what I was hoping for. Pulling this tab is very difficult, and it's not the simplest thing I could think of. There used to just be a latch on here that you lifted up and the seat would move forward on my Cayman, and it was the same seats in the 911, I believe. But that's how difficult it is to get that tab pulled to gain access to the back seats. So there we go, that was a video about the 5 things I would like them to change about my 992. Other than that, I can't really think of too much else that I would want to change about the car. I've done a previous video about how I would maybe redo it if I was going to do it again. You'll find that at the end if you want to watch it. If you've enjoyed this video, if you could please give it a like, that really helps me out. If you want to see more videos about the 992, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.